Okay, welcome. Happy day to you from your office. This is going to be a boot camp, and because it's for you guys at corporate, I'm just going to adjust this here. We're going to do it as if you maybe aren't at a gym, you're sitting at your office. The intensity can be what you make it. So again, I'm Shannon with BzBody, missing you guys, seeing you in person. Hopefully we can get back to that sometime soon. But in the meantime, we should be able to do pretty much everything without having any additional weights, right in a small area using nothing but your desk chair. Obviously one that doesn't have wheels. So all these conference room chairs like this, no wheels. If you're sitting on one that has wheels, um, that's probably not super advised, as it's going to be a little more challenging and less forgiving. So what I would say is let's have that chair available, handy. And what I will do as well is give you the options if you have weights. I should have brought my weights in with me today, but it will kind of pretend that we had those. So we'll first get warmed up, and then I will have you go through some reps. This is being recorded, so if you decide that you want to repeat right after we do one of the exercises, you should feel free to do so, or you want to do the whole entire workout and then repeat the entire workout. So I'm going to run it like that. I'm going to run you through the workout, and then you can go and do the whole entire thing again, or segments of it. So hopefully this will be helpful to you to keep you moving and feeling like you can get up in the middle of the day and get something out. So I think we should be okay adjusted wise. It's not the best, but you should be able to see all of this and hear me okay. So let's stand. If you have a chair handy, great. Just get it a little bit out of your way. On the warm up, all I want you to be thinking is about alignment, the breathing, and then how we're going to move. So we're going to actually walk it out. So hopefully you have a little bit of a runway to get your body down. So let's take this big inhale up to the top. If you can touch your hands, look towards your hands, feel the tightness maybe in the shoulders, and then you're going to relax, lowering your body toward your feet, and take that first, what we call forward fold. If you are tight, a lot of us that sit at a desk for the day, we get that tightness in the lower back, into the back of the legs, down the hamstrings. Feel that tightness, maybe widen your feet out, let your body hang, including your head. So you don't need to see me at this point, but you're looking down at your feet, kind of assessing where your balance is, where your weight is. Pull your abs in so you're supporting the back. Get your fingers to the floor in whatever way you can, if that means bending the knees, and then walk yourself out forward or walk your legs back, and we go into a plank. So I'll show you from the side. A plank should be nothing more than this, completely vertical from the wrist to the elbow to the shoulder. Head is the farthest point forward. Okay, so that's your walkout, that's your plank. And then you're going to take it all the way to the ground. So bend those elbows, lay your body down, and then just pull your upper body up. In yoga, this would be up dog, chaturanga. Elbows are tucked in, so just watch that form. You're going to inhale here, exhale through, lay it down, push your body weight all the way up from the floor, however you get there. Hips are going to lead. Pull the hips up, tilt that head to look back at your feet, and walk it right back towards your toes. Take that fold and slowly stand up, and we repeat that. So inhale to the top, fingers together, exhale. This is just called the walkout. Find your fingers on the floor, walk it out, however many steps it takes into the plank. Take a pause at the plank, lay it all the way down. Come up and stretch. So you feel that shoulder blade, pull that back. Inhale as you lower back down, turn those toes under, exhale, press it up. Hips go up, walk it back. Okay, so that's just kind of a nice, easy warm up. Let's do that 3 more times. Big inhale, move with your breath, looking at those fingertips. Exhale, you fold forward, reach for the toes. If you're gaining some flexibility here, walk your feet closer together. If you can walk out in 3 big steps, 3 or 4 with those hands, great. Plank it here, lower to the floor. Turn those toes under, exhale, come up. And then we repeat, inhale, lower. Exhale, push away from the floor. On this next one, we're going to reach back and get a little more rotation, a little more mobility in that spine. So take that big inhale, and that will happen when we go from the plank. Exhale, forward fold. If you're going faster than this, that's great. If you need more time, take your time, walk yourself out. If you want to hold the plank to get a little bit more core engagement, do that. You lay it all the way down to the floor.
You come up, this will be the last time we put this part of here, the stretch in, and you feel that. Inhale, lower. Exhale, come up to the plank. Now, right hand touches the left toe, come back into the plank. Left hand touches the right toe, back into the plank. Reach, plank, reach, plank. I want you to just work through that, counting maybe 10 reps. So let's see how you're doing here. Exhale as you breathe. You're touching that toe. Inhale as you're walking it back, and just work through that. Inhale, touch back. Exhale. Yes, you're moving with that. Be very gentle, taking note if anything hurts. If you need to take a break, if the arms are getting too much, that's okay. And on this last touch back with your hand, come into the plank, hips go up. Let's stretch it here. This is your downward dog, a yoga move. And now you feel that length from the heels to the calves, back of your knees, up the back of your legs, your hamstrings, then over your glutes into your waistband, down to your back, and then forward toward your shoulders. Head, neck are relaxed. And then rock your hands back toward those feet. And then let's roll it all the way up nice and easy. So you should feel like getting a little bit warm. Let's roll the shoulders, and then you twist your body. So nice and easy. This is a motion that when you sit at a desk, we don't get a lot of. So you want to think of, how can I open up this chest, stretching the back, working those posture muscles right here, your rhomboids. When we sit like this all day, we start getting hunched over or slouchy. This kind of movement is going to change that. So let's bring those arms up at this kind of shoulder height. And I want you to rotate, look to the left, look to the right, and that arm kind of follows around. So if you're a boxer, this would be like a nice hook, hooking around. You don't need to punch here, but just feel that range of motion. Always gentle on the back. None of this should hurt the back. You can take your feet wider and you get a little bit lower. We're gonna start bringing that heart rate up a bit. And if that feels good for you, great. And we're not gonna forget that chair, we're gonna use that. So twist 4 and 3, 2, and you're breathing. Let's add that twist with the legs. Hold the arms like this. Now we bring the knee up to that opposite elbow. So right to the left, left to the right. I'm standing for balance on that stable leg as that elbow comes across and across. So the goal is not to bring the elbow down to the knee, the opposite, knee to the elbow, pull it up. I'm almost kind of leaning back just a little bit. So your back stays nice and tall, not dramatic, but just up tall. 10, 9. Now, if you have those weights, you could hold them in your hand. 4, 3, 2, last 1. Hands at your hips. Take your feet wide. Here's another great usage for the chair. So if you want to bring that chair in, if it's a conference room chair like this, I'll show you from the side. This is a great way to get a good squat. I will have my clients touch the back of their leg to the bench, the chair, whatever they're using. Then you lower down, stand back up. So I'm looking for you to avoid this. If you keep in contact, like right behind my knee, a little bit lower is where I feel the chair. I'm going to then pull my hips back, sit all the way back, stand all the way up. This chair's hitting me a little high. A bench usually has it at my calf. So see if that works for you. So let's get that position first. The typical thing is to do this. This will train you to lead with your hips, sit back, up and stand. So follow that range, taking note where your weight is in your heels. Feet are hip distance apart, drive it up. So if you lead with your hips, you're thinking lengthen the back of the legs, lower my body weight, and the opposite happens. Contract that back of my leg and lift my body weight. This will engage the glute is what we're trying to do. We sit on that way too much in a day. So let's squat and stand. So give me your best. Sometimes you might go for reps here. I really just want you to get the form perfect. I'd rather see you do 10 good ones than 20 with bad form. Taking note that nothing hurts at your knees. So I'll turn and face you. Watch your legs going like this. So I'm up tall. I sit back and then drive it up. Arms then become secondary. If I have the weights, I can push up with them, bring them here. If I don't have the strength in my legs, I can use the arms of the chair to lower my body weight. Another great way. You're thinking hips. Give me 4 more. Hold the arms up like this is going to work those posture muscles again. And remember, that's what my whole goal was, to have you get some posture exercises. And last one, you're going to take a seat and stay right there. So working those big muscles will typically kind of get the heart rate a little bit inclined. If you're huffing and puffing here, that's okay. If you're sweating, there's probably no one near you in the 6-foot radius. It's okay. So push yourselves to what you need to do. You can always take a break as you feel needed. Take a drink of water if you need to as well. So this chair I love because of the handles, but also because of the sturdiness. You've got nice 4 legs on here. I'm going to turn back around this way. We're going to work the back of the arms, called the tricep dip. So if I'm not very strong in that area, I'm going to go up a little bit higher, so I'm pushing some weight into my feet and lift myself up out the chair. This is maybe all you want to do today. Sit down, pretend like you have no movement from your waist down, and I'm only using my arms to push me up. Your body weight's a fantastic tool that we carry around every day. So if you want more, I'm going to go a little bit lower, maybe to the edge like this, or to the front edge like this. I'm going to take my weight either into my feet, make it easier, walk it way out, make it harder. I drop way lower, push up. So the key is to lower the body, but stay close to the chair, and then drive it up. The weight is in the heel of my hands. I bend as I inhale, exhale, push, down, up. Give me 10 of these. 3, down, 4. You kind of want to keep the pace, and 6, but without losing your form. 7, that should be a nice little burn. If you can't do 10, that's okay. 9 and 10. Get your weight back on the chair. Shake it out. It goes from real comfortable, easy to a nice little burn. Stretches look like this. So that tricep, 3 long, skinny muscles run from the back of your shoulder to your elbow. Another one where we sit like this. You don't want that little wobbly business. So tricep work is fantastic. Take that stretch on the other arm. Very good. So shake it out a little bit. You should be feeling like you're doing some work. Now, let's stand. We're going to challenge some balance moves, and your chair will be another great tool for this. So if you can stand behind your chair, you're going to look like this. Height obviously makes a difference. I don't want you hunched over. So here, this chair is just perfect enough for me only to use my fingertips. So standing square behind it. If you need the chair, you can lean a little bit forward, but not slouching. So I'm leaning from the hips, resting some weight on here. The challenge is not to use the chair. Load your dominant leg. So for some of us, that's your right leg. You're going to stand on that leg, and I want all of the alignment to be shoulders and hips square with your chair. And all you're going to do is lift that other leg straight behind you. Can't really see too much. So we're not bending. It's a straight, flexed foot, lift and lower. So if I stand up tall, I'm going to limit the range of this. Doesn't really matter. The goal is to work this muscle, your glute. Gluteus maximus, which we sit on. That one is a lazy muscle. It'll recruit your abs and your back in order for it to do these movements. When you isolate like this, I can't really move my back or change my abs without contorting my position. So holding the position is ideal to get that muscle that you're targeting to do the work. What you want to see, and maybe you'll see it from the front here, is that, so if I'm standing like this, you can't really see where my leg goes. I don't want you kicking out to the side or shifting here. It's straight to the back. 5, 4, that should be burning right now, and maybe on your stabilizing leg, your standing leg. Hold it up right here, and then realize, how much am I using the chair? Are you losing your balance? Are you barely touching it? Where do you feel this work? 3, 2, 1, and relax. Yeah, shake that out. Sometimes your standing leg, if you're right-legged and you're standing on that right leg, really contracts to keep you stable, because your weaker side takes a little more mental work to have that be isolated. Then it fatigues faster than your right side's like, I can help out. So you want to be able to work both of them equally. So let's go to the other side. My table's kind of in the way here, but standing now on your non-dominant leg, you're gonna work the dominant leg that you were just stabilizing with. So it may already feel like, wait, I already was picked on. Stand up tall, same thing. Reach back with that heel, not a bend in the knee. If you bend the knee, it goes into the hamstring. So a straight leg as if you're in a cast, and just as high as you can go. If you're not going that high, fantastic. If you really feel like you're collapsing into the chair, then change this movement. But goal is to stay square and then work that heel straight to the back. Find the length, think about what's moving. Sometimes it's just as important to focus on, I feel that muscle is crunching, contracting, and stretch, relax. Contract, relax. That's what the muscle's really good at. If I swing, I can do that with momentum, not the same. So muscle, relax. 4 and 3, nice. 2, hold it up. How are you using your arms? If we have the weights and you're more advanced, I'd have you be doing arm with this. That's coming next. 3, 2, okay, relax. That's the muscle we sit on that's just working one direction. So from this point of view, now I can start working the side. So say my chair, I'm just gonna so you can see. Now I'm gonna go back to standing on my good leg, my dominant leg. This outside leg is gonna go out here. So when I'm square on to the front, I want to avoid this. I don't want any movement in the upper body. I'm up here tall and it's just pushing. I'm pushing through a flexed foot out to the side, straight in line with my hips. So if I'm square to the chair, it's just straight out. Think of balancing a candle right on the top of your head. So a lot of good leg work. This is gonna get into the outer part of your hip, which gives you the shape, your glute medius that wraps around, gives you mobility at the hip. So you're gonna go out, 10, 9, 8, same thing with the balance. How much are you using that chair? 7, 6, 5, 4, good. 3, 2, hold it out. Good, now bend that leg. Now you've got the hamstring. This is our old school. This would be called the superset. You're still holding that lateral position out to the side with the bent knee. Now we go in and out. Now there's a little more movement. My hamstring is contracted because it's bending my knee and I'm pushing out like the fire hydrant. You get that visual? Fire hydrant back in the day. Out, out, knees come together in the middle. 7, 6. This is a lot more balance, a little more, what am I trying to say? Attraction of other muscles, recruitment to help because it's in a hard move. 4, 3, but I'm not collapsing my upper body. My balance is okay. And shake it out. Whew. Sometimes that stabilizing leg feels like it works harder until we go to it. So now that leg that you were just working, you're gonna stand on that one. Same action. So up tall, you don't need to lean into it. Just lift, load the weight on your standing leg, and then that floats out and in. Ugh, sometimes that gets a little tight in that hip, crampy feeling because you were standing on it. That's called isometric. When you stand on this, like now this leg is isometric, produced the tension, but there's no movement. I'm holding that. Isometric contraction sometimes feels worse, creates the burn and it stays there. When you're going through the movement, there's a contraction, extension, release, movement of the muscle. You get a chance to relieve the tension, increase the tension, relieve the tension. Standing here, the tension stays. 4, 3, good. 2, hold it up. We bend that knee, same action, in and out. From the side, up tall, straight out with that bent knee, out and in. So there's a lot to think about. The movement may be easy, but keep that knee bent. But you want to think of what else is happening at the body. Am I uptight in here? Am I clinging onto something? I want to be relaxed and let the muscles I'm trying to work do the work. 7, 6, 5, you're breathing. 4, 3, 2, oh, and shake that out. Okay, that sometimes looks so basic, can be very, very effective. I'm in a nice office building with not much air conditioning in this room, so getting hot, but If you have stairs in your building, another great way just to get up every hour, maybe just go up a flight of stairs and down a flight of stairs. If you have 5 flights, challenge yourself to get all the way up and down, then maybe run. It's all baby steps to progression, but gives you some options. In a desk, I can be in this little teeny room and do everything I need to do. So this time we're gonna go do another little one with using the chair. I kind of like this option. If you need it, great. If you have weights, you're holding on to them, but we're gonna do a lunge. So now we're actually gonna move. I'm gonna use the chair only if I need it, but I also like it for a position. So let's take the leg that you were just working. We're gonna now stand on that leg. I'm almost gonna let my knee go into the back of this chair like this. So if you see this, I'm gonna be really close to this because I'm going to take the other leg, step back, come forward. So just like we do with the squat, I don't want this knee that's supposed to be straight shimming around. So if I have it touching something, I'm gonna be aware of that. So step back, step forward. The floor is not gonna move, the chair is not gonna move. I want you looking straight ahead and trust that you're feeling that chair against your knee. This one has a little bit of a concaved back to it. So when I come up, my thigh hits the top. It does move my knee away from the chair. So I could change it. Actually, here's how you would do that. Here's my knee against there. Now I'm right up against the seat. I don't even need to use my arms here. I could have my arms out. I could move my arms as I do this, down and up. I could hold weights by my side. If I'm not very advanced, I could just be here, supporting my body weight. Go 4, 3, 2, last one. And we got the other side. If you need a break, take it. Go on the other side this way. Knee against the chair, other leg, step back, come forward. This would be ideal. I'm really feeling my knee wanting to come away from there. This is not my dominant leg. So that means the back of that leg is saying, wait a second, recruit some other ones to come and help. So I want to isolate that form. I may take some of my body weight here just to lessen the load on the leg that is not performing 100%. So that's totally fine. Good. Exhale to the top, lower. Wow, that's way harder on one side. It's amazing how you get kind of out of your routine and then you come back at it. Some things don't feel quite exactly the same. Just be aware of it. It's okay. 3 and 2 and last one. Okay, shake it out. We just have 2 more things, and that's going to be like half of a workout, and maybe enough for all you want to do today. You can then go back and replay this. 2 more things. It's going to include 1 more upper body because we did the back of the arms. Now I want to get this, also known as a push-up, and then we're going to get some abs, okay? So if you have a conference room or wherever you're working out, your desk, this is a great way to do a push-up. Just like the squat, I really believe push-ups are all about form. You don't want your arms too close. You don't want them out too wide. The goal of a push-up is to work across your chest from shoulder to shoulder. Underneath your chest is your pectoralis major muscle. It has to stretch and it contracts at the top when you get there to work with the shoulders, triceps, biceps. So if you've never done one or you've been in my class and we don't stop until you do it right kind of thing, getting the initial setup is ideal. So we're gonna look for this distance. So either you're on your desk or you're on the floor. My hands are not under my shoulders. My elbows are not turned out. I'm in what we would call like field goal posts, like this. Hands are gonna go on the edge. I'll just do this for purposes. If I am lacking strength, I'm gonna keep my hips back or keep my legs close so my legs can take my body weight. So this is gonna be level 1, let's say, the easy version. You're gonna look straight ahead, keep your head and back in alignment, and you're gonna bring your rib cage, your chest line, right to your thumb line. Okay, so it's not this, my ultimate pet peeve, and it's not this. Okay, so it's elbows going outward, body is a plank. That's, I think, the biggest thing. Is from my shoulders to my hips, it goes toward the desk, touching the rib cage. Literally, I touch that line underneath my chest to the bench, to the floor, whatever you can touch. And then you exhale, push it up. goal is to stay tight in that rest of the body. Elbows bend, exhale, push. Elbows bend, exhale, push. So that's what your goal is, to be very plank-like throughout that whole movement. If you have 2 chairs, you're in a conference room, let's do this. I'll show you, I got another one handy conveniently, like this. I could now bring it up a notch, put my body on each chair, put my hand, my body weight's gonna go in between and get a little more depth and all the way up. So you've got that same position with my hand, out like this, down, exhale, come up. So those are your push-ups, okay? You're gonna do what you can do with that. As it gets too intense, you can make it easier by changing the body position. If you're all the way on the floor, you can be even here and doing them like this. That's another fine way to do them, to build up to it. But regardless, the key is to bend till something of your upper body touches the floor, the chair, whatever you're using, and then push it away. On the floor, you can be up on those toes, all the way down, all the way up. Take it to the knees, all the way down, all the way up. That should be very basic, but people love to cheat on the push-ups. So practice that. Maybe I'll give you some homework to do those squats, the lunges and push-ups. Very basic. We've not even picked up a weight yet, and you should feel like you've worked your muscles. The next one that I really think is ideal for those of us that sit at an office, we lose this connection between the back and the abs, and then we go to pick up something off the ground, go rake some leaves, and then we tweak a back muscle or something doesn't feel right. Core is going to be ideal for keeping up your posture and giving that back strength. So I'm just going to assume we are kind of starting over and maybe not super engaged in the core or whatever. But if you're more advanced, then we'll add the weight, we can add more movement. You want to be able to think about what's happening when you're moving. When you are seated, I don't really need to do anything. I'm not going to fall off. I'm not going to lose my balance here. Can you make yourself tighter? Yes. Draw the air in, pull the shoulder blade back, engage these muscles. So now my perfect posture becomes a little bit of a work. So if I'm going to sit at a chair and be perfect posture, there's muscles that are working. You're going to go from perfect posture and then roll down one vertebrae at a time and then come back up to perfect posture. Sounds real easy, but there's a lot of moving parts here. Feet are on the ground, knees are together, nothing is moving from your hips to the ankle. Arms then become my resistance. Harder, a little bit harder, easier, hanging on easier. Start where you need to. Pretend a big heavy bowling ball rolled down to your waistband, and then you're not gonna go all the way down. I'm never gonna look up. I'm always gonna keep sight of my knees and my feet, and I roll it back up and finish at the top. You're gonna start finding legs lift, legs fall out, and we start shimmying here. Feet and knees together is gonna be ideal, and then you inhale, exhale, come up to perfect posture. So if I'm struggling with this, if you haven't trained your abs very much, you might need a leg to come with me and to sit back up, knowing that your goal is to just do this with your core alone. Roll down and roll it up. Smooth, graceful, way harder than it looks. To be smooth and graceful takes a lot of strength. So think of coordinating breathing. Inhale, exhale, sit up, inhale, lower. Perfecting that move is going to be ideal as we move on to a lot of other things. Got one more ab one for you. So if you're more advanced, like, yep, I've got that roll up and my form is perfect, great. That's awesome. Maybe shoot a little video of that and send it to me and I'll be the judge. Arms are gonna go out here. Advanced is gonna add a twist. So if you have no back issues, I can go here, right, left, bringing that elbow to the knee as I twist and I exhale. Right, left, right. If that's too intense, I can bring my hands to the floor and come across the body. Now all I've done is add some resistance from my legs. I've added some upper body movements. You can see how the progressions can really increase dramatically by adding some body parts. Okay? Simple as that. right? I'm sure you're saying, sure. So let's relax. Now, if you don't mind laying on your floor, I would suggest maybe a yoga mat, but we don't have to do this either, but stretch it out. Maybe do this at home. Arms over your head, quite like how we started. Now you're lengthening all of those muscles. I targeted a little bit of your upper body and chest. We got your core, a little bit of back, and then the leg complex of your hips, your glutes, a little bit of everything. So you should feel like you at least moved your body, the entire body. Let's bring a knee into the chest. That'll stretch out that hip. You can circle the ankle. And I drug this out a little bit more instructional. Each video will maybe get a little more progressively challenging, or maybe more multi-muscle movements. Maybe I'll add some tools into it. But I want you to get that you don't have to have anything fancy to do this. You really don't. If you sit up nice and tall, cross those feet, and then walk your body over the top, that's going to stretch all those other side muscles in the back, a little bit of your back. Or if you have not made it to the floor and you're sitting at your chair, here's another great way to just get some stretches. If you do nothing else, if you did part of the workout, reach back and grab the chair like this, and then push your chest forward, look up. Feel that length from your shoulder to your hands. And you can do the opposite. You can reach forward, bring your head. Now we're slouching, pushing those muscles out to the back. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, and then give a little side stretch. So drop that right elbow, looking up over to the left. Drop the other elbow, looking over to the right. And just as we twisted in the beginning. Or stretching out whatever you feel you've worked the hardest at. So great work. Every Wednesday we're going to do this. They will be recorded, so if you missed it and you want to do it at home and add some other things, great. You should have my information here if you want to email me, call me, text me, whatever you need if you want further instruction or requests. I do take requests. So fantastic work today. Have a good one. See you next time.